Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series as we are here at the EchoPark Speedway. High speed action about to be on tap here tonight because we got 80 laps here on the 1.5 mile quad oval bank here at Old Atlanta, which is still the same track, but it just new EchoPark here. But it's also out with the old and in with the new with the paving here. And we ran the old version of Atlanta earlier this season. Now we got the new version, and we'll see not only these drivers in somewhat of a racing type of deal here tonight, but you also see some of these drivers right now out there finishing up qualifying and practicing pit stops, because pit stops here are very different than other tracks. You cannot just come in as late as you want and just make sure you're inside that cone. The cone is on the backstretch, so these drivers have to cut down on the backstretch and take the access road all the way around turns 3 and 4 to get into the pits, and they cannot go above that white line. So a little bit tricky for some out there if you haven't practiced it, but we'll see what these drivers have in store. We've certainly seen it come into play a bit on Tuesday night for the Core Xfinity Series, and seen some incidents because of it, but I'm sure these drivers are ready to put on a good show here tonight. Carl Lambert joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, looking pretty nice out here tonight at EchoPark.
It was clear night here at EchoPark down south in Georgia or Atlanta. Things change here, in NASCAR, and iRacing does a pretty good job of keeping things as current as possible. With these tracks, over the years, tracks have come and gone and changed, and they've rescanned them and whatnot. So we got the updated version here tonight. We are going to get started here shortly. The drivers are finished qualifying, so we will go ahead and share with you those results here. And on the pole here tonight to start things off is going to be the likes of Ryan Kelly, and at number 13, Todd Poston's going to go ahead and start in P number 2. Then with John Garrett, DJ Mitchell making up row number 2. Cody Griffin, Eric Blount for row number 3. Row number 4, Sean Wilder and Dalton Kilrow is back in action. Row number 5, Todd Merkel and Dustin Franklin. Row number 6 is going to be Gordon Larson and Tyler Hilton. Row number 7, Michael Taylor and Hemi Garridini. Mike Casey and Robert Smith make up row number 8, and row number 9 is going to be Brandon Muir with Len McNeese. The rest of the field is going to be 19th. It's going to be Hilton Young with Ty Marasco, and then Derek Paulson, Cade Green, Tim Lee, and Michael Pratt bringing the back of the field up in row number 12.
Yeah, good size field out here tonight. Looking forward to it for sure, and looking to see what these drivers bring here to the action at EchoPark, and see if they can do a little bit better than the Core Xfinity did here on Tuesday night. Taking a look at the standings coming in, and it is, if I can get them. All of a sudden they just disappeared on me. Okay, there we go. So coming in to tonight, it is, no, that's the wrong thing. Hold. There's no,
the fight is sooner or later, folks.
Everything, yeah, just you think everything's set up and then it just craps on you. There we go. Dalton Kilrow, no surprise there, is on top of the boards. Second place, Ty Marasco, only 8 points behind. And then you got Ryan Kelly, who's definitely having a pretty good year here, I would say so, with 3 wins out of the 4 races that he's come to. So he is in third place, only 28 points back of the lead, 30 points back Mike Hasty, and then 37 points back Robert Kahn after the first 6 races of the season. But either way, been a good one, been a good start to the season here. We'll see who's got the hot shoe tonight, who can get it done here at Atlanta / EchoPark, and we'll see if it's Ryan Kelly again. Obviously starting on the pole, not a bad place to start. And Dalton Kilrow, the typical kind of back half of the top 10, just qualifying just seems to elude him at times, and he's usually back half of the top 10. Not that he can't work his way through the field, because usually he does pretty quick.
Yeah, it's we just seen here at the new Atlanta, though, and I believe they're going to follow the same rules, Carl, about staying above the white line down through the quad oval as they get ready to go to green here, as the pace car is in, and the number 13 of Ryan Kelly gets on the loud pedal, followed there by John Garrett on down the inside. So will the inside or the outside hold them or get the lead here early on. Does look like the 41 of Dalton Kilrow going a little bit high there, entering turn number 1. So I don't know if he's falling back
I thought
or
I heard
what.
some wall brushing right there as well. Definitely not a good start to the race for the 41. As he's going to slip back here a little bit, but either way, getting this thing rolling here. 80 laps on tap as 3 wide, really close there. The 08 kind of pinching the 41 up there towards the top. Robert Smith not giving Dalton Kilrow too much room. He had Mike Casey on his inside as well, but the field already kind of spreading out here. You got some 2 wide racing at the front, but already a lap in. Ryan Kelly at the front. John Garrett up there into second. Cody Griffin, Todd Posson, and DJ Mitchell for your top 5.
Yeah, kind of going around here, and we're going to see real close racing here tonight. Did see them kind of getting out there, practicing together, running together. Seeing people having kind of troubles, obviously through that quad oval, as it's unique. And we'll get on board with a few of them drivers here after a few laps, after things maybe settle out just a little bit. So things are going to go by here pretty quick tonight. I was kind of confused how many laps it was going to be. I read 100, and then I had seen 180, and so just went with what was on the schedule when I put up the session. So obviously 80 laps here tonight, and they're going to fly by. The laps are really quick. They're fast laps and tight racing.
Yeah, certainly a different look, though, compared to the old Atlanta that we were here at just a few weeks ago. And you're seeing more pack racing, more bump drafting, more just drafting in general, and able to keep the foot flat to the floor around this track. And hopefully we can keep it flat all the way until we see the green flag pit stops, because that's where it gets really fun, really interesting to see these drivers, how much they can gain or very possibly lose on that pit entry, because you want to keep as much speed down there on the bottom as possible going through turns 3 and 4. But you drift up at all, you touch that white line, you're going to get a pit road penalty, and you might have gained 10 seconds by being nice and fast down there in the bottom. Doesn't matter, you're going to lose 40 seconds by sitting there while the NASCAR official stands in front of your car and you can't do a dang thing about it.
Yeah, nothing like being in the pits an extra few seconds there. And you can see down here with Hemi Gardini as they come through the quad off, it just kind of, it's unsettling. The car, it's not like going around the corner here. It's nice and easy. You kind of got lines to follow. Just that small shift down through that front stretch there for the fans can stir things up. Seeing accidents happen, see the lights coming on here, and in Atlanta as well, as you've seen them pop up as they're heading in the corner here. But we're now on lap number 6 of 8, already getting into this thing. Still a lot of 2 wide action here as Ryan Kelly still leads the field.
Definitely a good start here. Ryan Kelly not able to break away, as that's one thing you will not have here tonight. Ryan Kelly certainly no stranger to winning super speedways. You just won last week at Daytona, and looking to go for another win here in a row. But he does have Dalton Kilrow in the field with him here tonight. Dalton Kilrow not making last week, as he was at the actual Daytona Speedway for the season opener there in the real NASCAR. But back out here in action, he had his fun out there. I don't know how much fun he's having here tonight, as he's falling back to the back of the field right now, 22nd position. Maybe by design, maybe he wants to handle it like a like a speedway here, a super speedway, and just go to the back, let everyone kind of do their thing in the beginning of this race, maybe save a little bit of fuel. You see him back there with his teammate, the 5 of Derek Paulson, and even the 1 of Ty Marasco back there as well. So maybe some team orders to get everybody to the back. Let's run this thing out for a while. We got 80 laps to figure this thing out. No need to press right now.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, with things kind of starting there, and it's really, like you said, it's really going to get interesting when them green flag starts. Go ahead and hop on top here, and you can see we'll stay on board here with Dalton Kilrow for a lap. Right now they're in turns 3 and 4, and you see somebody trying to come down or thought about coming down the pits, but now up on the track can't really see him. That's Hemi Gardini slow down the front stretch as Dalton Kilrow goes down on the apron there to kind of get around. So Hemi Gardini sliding back quickly as it looked like he thought about coming into pits, changed his mind. But anyways, right back here, coming into 3, you can see that bright green arrow to the left-hand side, and right down below that red and white line down there, you can see the white boxes. That is the actual pit entry that they need to be in, and there's no speed limit down through that area of that corner. They just got to stay down in within them lines and then be below the speed of pit lane without getting a flag. So there's a lot of area to make up ground, lose ground, or just catch a penalty. But the time is changing here.
Mighty dark here. All of a sudden, yeah, exactly.
Safe flip.
As the time here is 2 times the actual time in real life, so it's clicking off twice as fast in sim here. But it's definitely getting a little dark here in Atlanta, and we see those lights already on right now, and we'll see these cars under lights by the time this race is over for sure. But yeah, as Jimmy is mentioning, you can go as fast as you want until you get to right before pit road. That's when the pit road speed limit cone starts. But the cone on the backstretch there that you have to be inside if you want to pit is just the commitment cone. Once you're below that commitment cone, you are committed to going into the pits, whether you want to or not. You don't have to. You can go back up on the track and stay out, but you're going to get a penalty. So it doesn't matter if you take the whole car up there or not. But we got a caution here from the front. I think a lot of cars towards the front of the pack here getting involved in this one. I think Todd Potson, I've seen him sideways. He might have been one of the ones involved in the front. 3 meatballs here out of the stands. Tyler Hilton, looks like Todd Potson and DJ Mitzel all getting it. We'll take a look back here. I have to rewind it and see where this one actually started. Potson had a great run last week, but here the Nerds machine gets bundled up here a little bit. Not sure if he had a check up there for the cars right in front of him. It looks like 66 maybe checked up a little bit, back to 31 up, and kind of offline a little bit with DJ Mitzel being right above him, and gets both of them involved. You see the 08 loses his hood, the 02 loses hood. The hood flapping around there on the 4 as well, and then big impact on the bottom of the track as the it was the 11 or the 17. Not sure where that was on the bottom. It was a 31. No, 71. There we go. That's when I see the 71. Big impact into the back of the 02, and that's what is actually not going to be a meatball for the 71, surprisingly, as hard a hit that was. But some major damage to quite a few drivers here. Maybe not consider the big one here for sure at Atlanta, but it is going to be a big opportunity for everyone to come in and make that first pit stop.
And everybody's going to come down and get them pit stops. Tires are important here, and I'm sure they're finding that out here quickly as they were practicing tonight. But pit lane is about as full as you can get it here tonight, with every driver coming on in. We know whether they got a meatball or not to get things back in order here on lap number 15 of 80. So our first caution of the night comes out pretty close to the front of the pack. So be interesting to see how things are stirred up and who does what when to try to get a little bit of track position here, Carl.
Yeah, a little early to take tires, I would think. It looks like maybe 1 or 2 drivers electing to. It looks like John Garrett being one of them, and we'll see if that was on purpose or not. We have seen drivers mistakenly forget to uncheck those tires when you have an early pit stop like this, and really hurts them in the long run, clearly. But either way, we are... Trying to take a look here, something. We are under caution here on lap number 15. 80 lap race here tonight, so there's a lot to go here. And yeah, I'm not surprised here to see a couple of cars coming back down here, topping off of fuel, because you never know. I mean, with this field, we do see a lot of green flag racing, and it's just kind of usually right around the corner that we have a long green flag run. So you come in right now, take some fuel. I don't know what the fuel window is here tonight, but yeah, you never know. That extra 1 lap of fuel could end up getting you to the victory lane here tonight. So if you're in the back of the pack like Dalton Kilroe was right there, Brandon Muir coming back in. It's like Michael Taylor and DJ Mitzel in the pits as well. I think DJ Mitzel had a tow back to pit lane, so he's still yet to get back in there and relieve himself of that meatball. But we're going to double back up here Ryan Kelly, Cody Griffin on the front row. Todd Merkel, Gordon Larson, Dustin Franklin for your top 5. Then Sean Wilder, Eric Blunt, Mike Hasty, Michael Pratt, and Len McNeese for your top 10.
We did see the other night, though, Carl, being at this track here with the core that, obviously track position was pretty, important as well. Not only the tires, that can keep control of the car, but it wasn't like the easiest of tracks to kind of pass on. We know that there's a lot of close racing and the opportunity there is there to, kind of come up through the field, but it was a lot hard. It's a lot harder as far as that goes when it comes to actually making the move and getting the pass. So I'm not surprised to see some drivers take some chances here with that last pit stop.
Well, we'll see how it plays out in the end. I'm hoping these drivers do get a chance to get a nice green flag run here and get to see those chaotic pit stops here at EchoPark. But either way, I want to thank our sponsors out there: Gold Line Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs for everything they do. I want to thank Tim Lee for consistently bringing us on board here as well with CRN. It's been a great partnership, and we certainly enjoyed here every Thursday night, and love to see these drivers not only compete against each other, but especially when we have the special events like the CRN Cup and things like that. See how they kind of intermingle with some of our other top drivers from the other series. But we're back to racing here at EchoPark, and it's back to Ryan Kelly at the front.
Back with Ryan Kelly leading the way. One thing about being out front, Carl, is the lack of dirty air, at least from the front of the car. So being able to get down in that corner, hold it down there, just don't have to worry about too much wash up as long as you keep control of your inputs throughout the race. But the 13's got some heavy pressure there by the 3 of Cody Griffin, up 3 spots there in P number 2. Todd Merkel is now currently in 3rd, up 6 spots, but your biggest mover of the race, and no surprise that he likes to start in the back. Now mid-pack is the number 77 of Michael Pratt.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all to see that 77 back there. But what surprises me is how far up the field he is right now. I think it's a little bit too early for Michael Pratt. It's still first half of the race. It's definitely too early to see that 77 up there, and that's why you see him dropping back a little bit. But cars dancing around a little bit, just like we've seen on Tuesday night. These things don't seem to be planted that well. I mean, it's fresh pavement out here. Obviously some good drivers here in the field, but the cars dancing around just a little bit out there, getting into these corners. Especially you see him right there. Hilton Young getting in the corner, drifts up to the middle line. Luckily, not running too wide back here, but you really got to be cautious of that and kind of focus on your entries. And you may be full throttle out there, but you may have to kind of back it down a little bit just heading into some of these corners.
Yeah, it is challenging. You can see the Hilton Young just staying a little bit higher there, but some of the drivers in the back of the pack kind of trying to decide what they should do with the momentum that they get. Obviously you want to just keep with the draft so they can keep up the speed and with everybody, but trying to be kind of dancing around just a little bit, kind of being a little bit cautious. And I think that's what you see here from the likes of like Tim Lee at the moment. Michael Taylor back here as well, Dalton Kilroe, Brandon Muir was involved in that last one, but so you got a few drivers kind of hanging back, that let this chaos that's in front of them here, and we'll go to the back of that chaos or the front pack here with Hilton Young kind of looking forward from the top of the car, and you can just see the cars just kind of bopping around, going down, going low, going high, trying to get a position here, maybe trying to make somebody uncomfortable. But nobody's trying to wreck each other. They're just trying to survive at the moment and maybe get a position here too, as it is very difficult to kind of come through the pack. You can see down the backstretch here, just looking from Hilton's car, that there's not a whole lot of room to send this thing 3 wide.
No, I mean it's like I said before. I mean this track it's like Daytona, and Daytona to me, can you get 3 wide? Yeah. Is it optimal to be 3 wide at Daytona? No, I can get a little sketchy, a little tight. Talladega is wider, and it's definitely more doable to go 3 wide at Talladega. But here at Atlanta, I don't know the dimensions. To me, it seems it's about as wide as Daytona, but you're carrying so much speed, and it's a mile shorter of a track, so the radius is a lot tighter. So going 3 wide at Daytona is tough. It makes it that much more tougher here at EchoPark, and you'll certainly see it. I'm sure later in the race when drivers are starting to get a little racy out there. But right now, I'd be holding it single file or 2 wide, just kind of running for a good 15-20 laps, settle into this race, get you closer or into that next pit window, and worry about the racing at the end.
Yeah, you've seen there just not too long ago, the Sean Wilder having a little bit of a aha moment as he kind of went a little bit wide and ended up kind of almost lost it, but was able to gather it up. Everybody kind of was paying attention and able to give him enough room up on that high side until they got that car kind of settled down. But you could see him, he fell back through the field a little bit and now blinking. So just go ahead and go off of him for right now. So hopefully he's able to maintain connection and stay in the field, and it does look like he does, but up on that high side, falling back. But up front, leading the way, Ryan Kelly in number 13, followed by Cody Griffin, Todd Merkel, Dustin Franklin in number 73, and then Todd Poston for your top 5.
I'm thanking everyone out there in CRN Nation for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. And I do want to send a shout out. I know he said he doesn't want to be shouted out. He wants this to be everyone that helps donate to it. Recognize them instead. But Stephen Harris was kind enough to create a GoFundMe for the CRN here to try and help both me and Jimmy get a little bit better equipment to make sure that we're bringing you the best, cleanest, clearest racing coverage here on iRacing as possible. So I want to thank him for doing so, and we'll get you the link up in the chat here in a second, and we'll make sure that we have the QR code up there on further, either on the broadcast or on the intro or exit screens as well. It's certainly not required at all. I mean, if you can help out, great. If you can't, it's fine. You're still welcome, and we're still going to put on some great racing out here, just like the Virtual Velocity Racing is doing right now, and a fantastic job. But definitely a thank you to everyone that has already donated and helped out for the CRN fund, and all funds will be either used directly for CRN or it will be used towards towards prize funds, so CRN can put out some races for some of the drivers out there, or even some prizes for fans out there, because we wouldn't be out here at all if it wasn't for these leagues, and we wouldn't be nearly as good and as entertaining if we didn't have the fans out there certainly jumping in here and chatting it up with us as well. So I want to thank everyone out there that makes CRN go round.
Yeah, it was kind of unexpected, and just told Carl the other day CRN did have its 4-year birthday back on the 14th of February, so we're now in our 5th year. Just looking at some of the just basic numbers for everybody, too many hours to even count. Over 1,600 live videos that have been shared on the CRN website there. Not website, but YouTube channel. So, oh no, there goes the one!
Big wreck right there, and the 08 gets involved as well. 08 with the hood up on him. Looks like John Garrett involved in this one. I see Michael Pratt went off track as well. We'll take a look back and see how this thing transpired, but I'm seeing Brandon Meir and Ty Marasco both with a meatball flag. I think the 08, Robert Smith is kind of stuck down there on the apron right now with the hood up, and I'm not sure how much he can see right now, but here's the incident one more time, and looks like the one in the wall. And Jimmy, what is it about this quad oval on the front stretch? Is it maybe because the drivers can't utilize the line down below the apron there, and they feel kind of constricted out there? But we've seen it on Tuesday night too. We've seen plenty of drivers getting up there and scraping the wall in the quad oval, And now we see it again here with Ty Marasco. Scrapes the wall, slows him up, and really nowhere for the 66 to go, causes an incident.
Yeah, nowhere to 66 to go. 5, kind of being surprised. Shoots the 8 up into the 1. And that's where it kind of ends. And we'll go ahead and take a look there with Robert Smith here. We'll go in the cockpit and see exactly what it looks like here to have, your hood up. So here, this is what it looks like for Robert Smith at the moment as he brings that thing down the pits. You could try to slam on the brakes and flop it down, but that's not a guarantee. So I'm sure he's looking at the wall over to the side. Maybe he's lucky enough to have VR and be able to actually stick his head outside the window. There's many different ways, but there's not much to see to kind of keep going around here. You can if you just look over to the right side, maybe a sliver, you might see the line, but just that front left corner is pretty much all the driver can see. You can see the wall out there, and you can see the red and white line at the very right side of your corner there, above the sponsors there that's on your screen. But yeah, not much to see here when the hood is up like that. So another big wreck here, bringing out a caution here, lap number 32, as they're now going to work around. So I would imagine pit road going to be pretty busy again, and we'll go ahead and go down to the pit road camera here, and you can see, I think, come on, live, come on, cameras, work with me. Does look like Derek Paulson is going to take advantage of that, and there's kind of, you see some damage there on the 5, so electing maybe doesn't have a fast repair, maybe just seeing how much damage down there, but trying to check out what's going on, slowing up for the pace car, but wants to get as much time down in that pit lane as possible. You can see it has to stay down between those lines there. You see Dalton Kilroe coming down as well. So, there must be some, something going on here, obviously, with Dalton Kilroe and Derek Paulson to make sure that they get as much time in the pits, get as much fuel as possible. This thing's already on lap 33, Carls. We're closing in on the halfway mark. We're already on our second caution, so anything can happen. You want to be prepared and possibly, have that opportunity maybe to make it to the end. Maybe some of these drivers coming down, maybe you're going to take some fresh tires or just topping off the fuel. But here they are coming down right now. But as of right now, Ryan Kelly is your leader. The lights are off on the pace car. Yes. Here, go on top of Cody Griffin.
Back to green here, and no, not quite at halfway yet. I got to step away for a second anyway, so I think it's about time. We'll go ahead and send it off here for a little love to hear it on this restart.
Yep, a little love to hear it.
Lights and sounds here from the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series here at the beautiful EchoPark Speedway, and the field 2x2 for the first about maybe 12, 14 positions, and then some single file racing from there on back. But should be getting maybe close to some green flag pit stops, hopefully in the next 10, 15 laps. I mean, we've seen a couple of runs here, but we haven't seen one long enough to actually get to that pit window. Again, not sure what it is. I'm just, ballparking to myself and trying to figure out what these drivers have in the tanks to try and get them to the end. But I would think from the last time they came in the pits around lap 32, 33, that they weren't going to be good to go all the way to the end to lap 80. I'm thinking, one pit stop somewhere in the middle. But maybe because we had a couple cautions throughout the race, drivers are a little skittish of just cutting that thing right in half and then trying to run it to the end, because if a caution comes out when you made your pit stop, you're going to be down a lap, and it may be tough to get back onto the lead lap. So I think, kind of going back to what Jimmy said earlier in the race, track position is pretty big here, and you don't really want to give it up, especially if an untimely caution comes out.
Yeah, they do. Looking at their flyer here they have on, if you haven't already, please go over and visit Virtual Velocity Racing over on Facebook. They post all their race info over there when events are coming up and all that stuff. I post the link for the broadcast over there. They made me a moderator over there to kind of help out, because I'm always in there. And I just post the links for YouTube. That is also, they don't have to approve my stuff. But yeah, you can go over there and you can see that at the Atlanta Motor Speedway or EchoPark for 55 lap, or excuse me, they had 100 laps there, but 55% fuel, 2 fast repairs, 2 sets of tires, and 1 green white checker here tonight. But doing a great, fantastic job right now after that second caution of running green here. And yeah, Carl, 2 wide, pretty much all the way up back to the 14th position. Then you have a few drivers kind of in line back there with Mike Hasty, Tim Lee, and Michael Pratt, all the way back to Hemi Gardini, even back there to Hilton Young. Cade Green kind of back in the pack just a little bit, solo. So it won't be much longer before those drivers kind of catch up to him. Brandon Muir in the same situation, as he was kind of involved earlier in an incident. And already DJ Mitzel, towards the back of the pack here, he is a lap down. And then Ty Marasco, I believe, is out. Yeah, he's out for the race. So only one car retired for the race. 23 cars on the track. One car 1 lap down, and everybody else still in.
That's what we'd like to see. I mean, we definitely seen some torn up cars earlier, and at the rate it was going, I was expecting there to be 4 or 5 cars out of the race by now, because there was some major torn up cars out there. So the fact that we still have 23 cars on the lead lap, and really only Ty Marasco, who I guess this is a blip on the radar for him for this season, because he's been having a hell of a season up to this point, and this will be a kind of a drop race one way or another for the one, as he is back there in the back of the pack, 24th right now, several laps down. But out front, it's still Ryan Kelly leading the way. He's got Cody Griffin on the outside, and really nobody making any kind of moves one way or another. You got Len McNeese kind of poking out there every once in a while, maybe just trying to get some cool air into that engine, because we have seen it before where these engines can overheat if you're following too close for too long.
Yeah, too close, too long. No air breathing, and sometimes just to get a little nose on the ground, a little air in the nose, not only to cool it down, but maybe to get yourself a little bit of grip. And you can see drivers kind of flopping around here through this quad oval portion of the racetrack, and yeah, this is a difficult track to pass. Obviously, you want to get in that pack, and you can see right here is almost when you want to try to make the opportunity, but you can't. Unless you leave somebody out there by themselves, they're really it's hard to kind of like jump out of line and get that run going here, as far as I know. But it's been on. Well, I haven't had any official racing here at the new EchoPark, and I know it's fun to get out there when you're driving and just almost put your foot on the floorboard and keep things going here. See a little bit blinking there by the Raptor machine.
Sean Wilder, I think it was at 91.
That was Sean Wilder again. Yeah, right there in front of Gordon Larson.
outside line pushing up there a little bit, and for a brief moment the 3 was in front of the 13, but I think everybody just kind of holding serve right now, maybe trying to feel it out a little bit. The 2 of Todd Merkel, I don't think he wants to leave the back bumper of that 13. It's probably not a bad spot to be. 1, you're in the inside line in case you do need to pit. You got to keep it on the inside line, though, as he drifts up close to Len McNeese there. But also, you're behind the driver that seems pretty much unbeatable this season, the 13 of Ryan Kelly, as, again, 4 races here for the season. He's only not won 1. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good record, no matter who you are out there. But the other driver that's got the wins on the season, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. And right now, he's back there in 17th. Still plenty early, and maybe just kind of riding right there still. And you see the 77, Michael Pratt, right in front of him. Plenty early yet to make any kind of moves, as we're only on lap number 60. 20 laps to go. To be 19 when we get back to the line. But we see a pitter right now. The 71 Brandon Meir is down on pit road. He's going to go a lap down, so maybe just trying to get an early pit stop, get the fresh tires on there, catch up a little bit. But yeah, it's not exactly just nice and easy, nice and comfortable through these corners. Cars are dancing.
The cars are dancing, and all in front of this car here, another 72, Mike Hasty in P14, and you can see everybody starting to shift down towards that low line, and you know, it's a place that you know, when you're getting ready to stop, you don't want to be on that outside. We've seen it before. Somebody come from the outside and try to come across. It's just, unless somebody gives you the room, you know, you're not going to come. You're not going to be able to go down there. So, and you know, and get a safe entry. So, it really takes some work. You know, you don't want to lose that position. You know, that position up here, and that's, you know, maybe, you know, why Len McNeese is pushing on the back of the number 3 so hard, trying to get there. But you got to be careful so you don't get the 3 loose. But that 13 and 2 really kind of hooked right there at the bottom right now, Carl. The 2 and the 13, excuse me. Oh, somebody got down.
Yeah, once again, I want to thank our series sponsors, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs, for everything that they do here for the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series. This is the first series of 2 for VVR this season, as they're going to be switching it up to the Truck Series coming up once this series wraps up. But we still got plenty of racing yet in the Xfinity Series, as this is only race number 7. Next week they will have an off week, and they'll be back in action in March, starting off with Phoenix Raceway and the open dog leg there. But this one is going to go all the way out for 21 races, and then the Truck Series will be starting up in July, on July 9th, right here at EchoPark. But tonight we are clicking down the laps here. Nice little green flag run for these drivers. And again, I would think these drivers need to make a pit stop. I mean, maybe they can go 45 to 50 laps on a tank of fuel. I mean, right now, looking at the way they are, Jimmy, they're a little bit single file. Have you noticed that?
A little bit single file. That's a good indicator that, hey, we're going to need fuel soon. And you've seen some fake outs there for some drivers. And I think others kind of bid it to kind of go down there. You know, one driver wasn't able to catch, I think, what was going on, or just got slipped up, was the number 2 of Todd Merkel, now falling behind. So ended up taking a ride down the front stretch through the grass and just lost a bunch of time. But great driving to keep that 2 underneath control as he made his way through the grass. Did a little hop and a skip there, doing some lawn maintenance, but back on a track still. So I'm sure he would love a caution to kind of make up for that one. But you could see some of the drivers still pulling off down there. It looks like that was Cade Green down on the inside as they work their way through 3 and 4. 13 of Ryan Kelly still staying out there. Cody Griffin in 2nd. Len McNeese in 3rd. Your biggest mover of the race is actually Derek Paulson in P number 5, up 16 spots. Len McNeese is up 15 spots. Here they come.
And here comes the mass exit from the racetrack now. Again, here is kind of the race within the race, because you would need to get aggressive down there on the bottom, or you're going to lose time. So you got to keep with the guys in front of you, or you're going to lose that draft.
Oh!
And you can also have that right there. You get really close. You see Hemi Gardini locking it up, coming into pit lane.
No black
But
flags?
somehow, some way,
Wow.
black flags coming in. Great job for the first crew coming in. Now we got some more, or at least one more. Michael Pratt coming in by himself on this time by Gordon Larson. Keeps the field out there for the time being. Eric Blunt in second. Mike Hasty, Dalton Kilroe, Michael Taylor, and looks like the other four is back there. DJ Mitzel as well. But this is going to shake things up for sure. And looks like, trying to see DJ Mitzel, I think, was he a lap down? He is, either way, he's coming in right now. But Dalton Kilroe, Michael Taylor, going to continue on for another lap.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. There's a reason when you see the 41 linger to the back, not only to avoid traffic, but I'm sure he had something in mind. Maybe he's out there to take this thing to the end. Can he go 10 laps? I don't know. Nope, he's going to come down and obviously just maybe wait in there, seeing if anybody's going to mess up with their pit entry. This is a tough one here. You see him, the flames coming out of the exhaust, and he's going to try to make as best of a pit entry as possible. Keep that momentum going through the corner here. See the car getting a little sideways, but there's not much room to kind of slide it out, and he's going to get as much straight right there, going to the aiming for that outside cone and getting as much speed out of that pit entry as possible. Is going to work his way down right now, and I think we're going to see anything what happens, but it does look like Michael Taylor is going to finally come down. So nobody able to make it the rest of the way, but you see the field there all one lap down at the moment. So kind of wondering where this number 41 is going to work their way back out. Is he going to work his way back to the front of the field, or is Ryan Kelly going to be able to reassume the lead here as they work their way down the front stretch here in a group of three? Ryan Kelly, Cody Griffin, and Len McNeese. And it does look like Dalton Kilroe's not going to quite make it. Oh, keep it down. So 41 Dalton Kilroe not quite able to pick up the draft of his partner right there with Michael Pratt, but yeah. So Ryan Kelly is going to take over the lead here. They're going to battle up here. Len McNeese maybe wanting to get a win here. Try to see if he can slingshot around. We are winding down here. We only got 8 laps to go. Right now the race is between 13 to 3 and the number 84.
I mean, somebody's got to beat that 13 at some point, you would think, and I think that's what we're seeing right here. You see the 5 be trying to work with the 31 of Todd Posson, try and get them up to the front, and Mike right there as well. But yeah, it's sometimes I kind of get lost in just watching what these drivers are all doing. There's so much going on here when you have cars pitting on different laps, trying to look at what drivers are doing, make sure nobody's got any kind of penalties in there, see who's coming out first, who's going to stay with the draft, because we did have a nice large pack there to start with. It's not a large pack anymore. Now we got little, I guess that somebody ripped open the bag of Skittles, Jimmy, and they're just scattered all over the place now.
Somebody was cherry picking, Carl, as I like to call it, so kind of reaching out there just for the random ones, but enough drivers to kind of work together. Three is a good number, and you can see obviously the pack of 3 up here: Ryan Kelly, Cody Griffin, and Len McNeese for your top 3. Obviously, they're going to want to try to keep it together here for a few more laps before really battling out. But the likes of the number 31 of Todd Posson, Derek Paulson, and Michael Pratt for your top 6. These 3 are trying to catch that group, so they want them to battle. But Dalton Kilroe making his way a good chunk through the field now, all the way up in P number 7. So he's by himself, so the odds of him catching up are pretty slim here tonight. So he would need something to kind of happen, but still a good way to kind of survive the whole race here tonight, and he's able to get within that top 10, almost top 5. Eric Blount though is leading the next group here with himself in 8th, Gordon Larson's in 9th, Mike Hasty's in 10th. Michael Taylor's in this group as well in 11th. Sean Wilder, we're just going to pick up your next group up in 12th. Tim Lee is back in 13th. with Robert Smith on the outside. So they're going to be battling out there between the Red Bull machine of number 08. Todd Merkel, after running through the grass and running up front, is all the way back in the P15. So tough break there for Todd as he was having a great run here tonight. DJ Mitzel in the 4 had a rough pretty early back here in 17th. Cade Green 18th. And you got Dustin Franklin. He was up front as well back here in 19th. Tyler Hilton in 20th. John Garrett, Brandon Meir, and Henry Gardini for the 23 cars that are on the track. But we'll go back up front and check out this what's going on as the second pack of 3 did catch the first pack of 3, and now we got 6 cars, Carl.
Yeah, it's now a race here as we have Todd Poston. Sometimes, Jimmy, we've seen it before where we don't talk to a driver, we don't see a driver, we know they're in the field, but just doesn't have that good of a pace or race or anything like that to be able to come up here and talk to us in the top 3. And I don't want to jinx him because he's in the middle, 3 wide right now between Len McNeese and Derek Paulson. That's a 31 of Todd Poston. Got close right there to the 77 of Michael Pratt, who's working his way up there as well. But Todd Poston finally broke through last week at Daytona. Got a chance to talk to him up here in the top 3. Maybe it wet his whistle a little bit. It got him hungry to get up here and talk to us again because he's got a heck of a nerds machine out here. It was really banged up earlier here tonight in the one incident, but he's got it rolling again right now. Looking to the outside, possibly. He's going to have to do it pretty quickly, though, because Barney is waving that white flag. We got 1 more lap to go. 5 cars. Throw a blanket over him right now at the front of the field. Somebody trying to get a run on the next person. We got lap traffic possibly coming into play as well. We'll see if Hilton Young gets out of the way. Heading down into turn number 3. He's either 3, dipping out, looking around, trying. 13 gets a little bump from the side, and now he's going to get hooked into the lap car. Here comes the battle to the line. Give it to Derek Paulson for the number 5. He gets it done by 0.02 seconds. His teammate, the 41 of Dalton Kilroe, could not beat the 13. It took a little bit of a reckon there at the end, but Paulson going to come through for the win. And how about Poston right there in second? Todd Poston coming home in second after starting in second. He was clearly fast here tonight. You see the wreck right here, the 38, unfortunately, trying to stay up out of the way, but it was a battle to the line here at the end. The 3 trying to make it to the outside. Almost a great save here by the 13. And you see right here, it wasn't exactly a big loss here for the 13 as he comes home in third. Only, what is it? Yeah, about a 1/10 of a second behind the win. So heck of a finish here tonight. But man, I'm gonna have to catch my breath. I'm sure these drivers are gonna have to catch theirs as well. We'll get the top 3 in for their interviews. But before we do, Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order?
Another great finish here with VVR. Things coming down to the wire and pushing it just a little bit there, getting tight with some lap traffic. But I was trying to stay out of the way, trying to do the right thing. But these drivers just racing as hard as they could. And a little bit of a racing incident up front with those leaders. But our qualifying efforts, our race efforts will show that your winner here tonight is going to be Derek Paulson in the number 5. And your biggest mover of the race, up 20 spots. Carl, so from the back to the front here tonight for that number 5. Todd Paulson starts in second, finishes in second. And Ryan Kelly will come home in third. Fourth is going to be Len McNeese with a great run in the number 84. And then in the Derek Pratt will have a top 5 this week, up 19 spots in P number 5. P number 6, Dalton Kilroe, up a couple spots from his start. Eric Blount finishes in 7th. Gordon Larson with a great top 10 in 8th. 9th is going to be Sean Wilder. Mike Casey will finish in 10th. Michael Taylor in 11th. Robert Smith in 12th. Tim Lee will finish in 13th. He finishes up 10 spots from his start. Todd Merkel will finish in 14th. Cody Griffin in 15th. Hilton Young back in 16th. Dustin Franklin back in 17th. DJ Mitzel in 18th. Cade Green in 19th. Brandon Meir in 20th. Tyler Hilton will finish back in 21st. 22nd is going to be John Garrett. And Hemi Garridini will finish in 23rd. And Ty Marasco, after having an early incident, calls it, parks it quick, and we'll finish in 24. So one heck of a race by these 24 drivers here at Echo Park, formerly known as Atlanta, but another one in the books for the virtual velocity racing.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. And I want to thank our sponsors again, Hilton Crafts and Designs, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Gold Line Guardians. But it's time to get in here and talk to our top three here for the race. And going to start off here with third place here tonight. And I guess it's a situation where if you can't beat him, wreck him. That might be the only way that you can beat Ryan Kelly this season. Unfortunately, Ryan, you had a fast number 13 here again. It looked like you were going to go for another win here. You were leading on the last lap. And I always say, I don't want to be the car leading on the last lap at super speedways. Echo Park, not really a super speedway, but you had it in the right spot at the right time, going through turn number 3, and just a late move, lap car getting involved, and you find yourself trying to catch it to try and get the win.
Yeah, sorry to whoever I took out there. I got a bad bump there in that last corner and was just trying to hang on to it, and I know it caused a little bit of chaos back there, but yeah, still happy with a P3 and a lot of laps tonight, so can't be disappointed. But yeah, I was really wishing I could just hang on there for one more corner.
Well, I mean, it was another good run by you, and it definitely sucks sliding sideways there. But I mean, you almost had that thing saved as well. I mean, I know, I'm sure you were working it as much as possible to try and get that thing saved, and ultimately you almost come home sideways and only lose this thing by 1/10 of a second. So it's got to probably hurt even more because of that.
Yeah, it was a fun race overall, though. Having the shorter race tonight and not having to worry about saving fuel, so it was nice to be able to go hard all race and ran up front all race, so it was fun. And I had my teammate up there too, and to be Todd, and unfortunately he got spun there at the end. So it was tough having help, but still fun race overall.
Well, it was definitely another good run for you here tonight, and another good points night to maybe claw your way back up into this points battle with Dalton Kilrow. So congrats on the third place here tonight. Before we let you go, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, just my teammate Todd tonight, and you guys putting on the show, and all the drivers here, and the guys putting on the league. It's a good group of guys, and looking forward to next week.
All right, buddy. Well, take some time to celebrate this one. We'll see you next week and see if you can get back to that top step.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, Ryan Kelly in at the number 13. Second place here tonight, I mentioned it, didn't want to jinx him at all, and luckily I didn't because he found his way through the incident. And Jimmy, we get to talk to Todd Bosson here again.
Jimmy and Carl up at the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Pretty good. One heck of a race. I mean, you got a chance to talk to us not too long ago, and you got that car up here where they need to be, where it needs to be. We've seen you in a little bit of an incident early on, had some damage on that car, and we're still able to, get that fixed. Kind of come back out here and get back up to the front and give it a good run. Almost had it there as you had a little incident there at the end, but raced it out with Derek Paulson, but just didn't quite get him as you finished second. So not bad. A great start, great finish. Give us a little rundown of how it was out there from the driver's point of view.
It really wasn't that bad, other than after you got about 40 laps, they'd get a little hot, and you'd have to let out the throttle a little bit coming into 3 and 4, but if you didn't do it early enough, the car would snap loose. I think that's what was getting a lot of people right there. If you actually could commit and drive into the 3 and 4 with the throttle down, it actually stuck. It didn't want to break loose.
Yeah, it's one thing you have over me for sure is the time on the track. I know it's a lot of fun to go out there and rip around this short 1.5 mile race, or 1.5 mile track with this new surface. It plays a lot like Daytona with the draft being a big part of it. But how important was track position here tonight?
Oh, it was insanely important. I mean, I guess you guys can see it through the booth. Not a lot of guys were willing to go 3 wide just because guys were overdriving 3 and 4 a little bit, and it would close up pretty quickly. But if you could get to the front and stay up front, that was the main thing. But we figured if you could get green flag stops, it'd break it up a little bit, but we never quite got there except on that last run.
And speaking of green flag pit stops, you all had a chance to have that green flag pit stop there at the end. And this is one of the unique tracks where they have that pit entry back there coming, or right there at the entry of 3. Give us the kind of a lowdown, a driver's perspective on how difficult that is to kind of maintain that momentum and not lose too much time coming on that long pit entry into pit road.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You got to be able again to drive into that corner down at the bottom from 3 and 4, and just hope it sticks and can wrap the bottom when you're pitting. If you push up, you get a penalty, or worse, you spin out and it's over.
Well, you did a fantastic job of managing everything here tonight. Anything from damage to pit stops, and obviously avoiding wrecks there at the end to finish here in P number 2. So, as always, from CRN up in the booth, we want to say congratulations, recognize that, but furthermore, give you an opportunity to give any shout outs on at number 31 here tonight.
Oh, yeah, like always, thank you guys for broadcasting, and thank Tim for putting it on. I mean, without that, it wouldn't be very fun out here without anyone.
Well, we really appreciate the shout outs here tonight. Looking forward to see you next week. But for this one here, congratulations on your second place finish. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Thank you, sir.
Before you do, Ted, I got to ask because I know some, once they get a taste of getting up here in the booth, they like coming back, and clearly you got a taste, and now you're back again. You guys do have a week off next week, so do you want us to come in the chat around 9:30, 10 o'clock to come in and talk to us a little bit on the week off?
There you go. Yeah, we'll keep the momentum going. Just keep on rolling right through the whole week.
We'll just start up a little stream of the Todd Pasta podcast. We'll just talk to you a little bit and then keep that thing rolling.
There you go. I'll be here.
All right, buddy.
Have a great one, guys.
You too, man. That is your second place finisher here tonight, Todd Boston in the number 31. But the top spot here tonight is going to go to Derek Paulson in the number 5. Derek, congrats on getting the first win here of the season. It feels like it hasn't been that long ago, only a couple seasons ago, where we've seen you and your teammate Dalton Kilroe just going back and forth all season in a heck of a points battle. And Dalton Kilroe was not able to beat Ryan Kelly yet this season. Did you maybe help him get the formula here tonight? Just be in the right spot and hope someone takes him out?
That was a very unexpected win. I don't like this track, don't care for this track. I don't care how it races, and I just bided my time in the back. And it's kind of funny how usually, if you got good racecraft, you'll end up toward the front towards the end of the race. And my God, that's what happened. But sitting in third, I thought I was going to get just third, take a podium, happy, get out of here to the off week, and I'd be just fine. But yeah, 3 got into the 13, and I just picked the lane and was hoping I wasn't going to get collected in that mess. And it was funny is I saw Todd coming, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a drag race. And I didn't know if I'd got him or not, but I'm pretty happy I got him.
Yeah, you absolutely crushed him by 200ths of a second. It was not even close. But yeah, it's got to feel good to finally break through and get another win here in VVR. It feels like it's as soon ago as it was that I mentioned between you and Dalton. It feels like it's been quite a minute before we had you in here for the last interview of the night.
Yeah, let's see here. Last season I didn't race a whole lot. I had other stuff going on, so Thursdays just didn't pan out for me. So I always watch you guys, of course. If I didn't watch you live, because a lot of times I wouldn't get home until later in the evening, I would watch a replay. So I didn't really miss a race. I just wasn't there. And yeah, it's been a couple seasons, I think, since I've been in victory lane, and feels good to be back.
Well, it's definitely good to see that 5 back out there battling, and not just being a good teammate for the 41. You're out here getting your own money out here as well. So congrats on the win here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to on the number 5 Cornflakes machine?
I got to thank Fort Worth Screen Print, Goal Line Guardians. Got to thank you guys up in the booth there. It's again a privilege to have you guys on board with us, and got to thank Tim and all the admins in the league. It's a good group of guys. I think the guys who showed up again week in and week out, close knit. Like I said, for Atlanta, only having 2 cautions, I thought was pretty good because the way the track runs, it's hard to pass, and going 3 wide is just crazy. So only 2 cautions, I thought that was really good. And I'm missing one more sponsor.
I got Goal Line Guardians, Forward Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs.
There we go. Hilton Crafts and Designs. I got to give them a shout out too for being on board. All 3 of those folks have been with us 3 or 4 seasons now, and we're glad to have them every season as well. So,
well, we're glad to have all you racers out there put on a great show, and I 100% agree with you. 2 cautions here at EchoPark with these high speeds and close quarters, and the car's kind of dancing around a little bit as well. Wasn't exactly fully under control. The fact there's only 2 cautions out there is fantastic. So,
I was going to say, I don't know if anyone else mentioned this, but I've never raced this track where the car was loose and the car ran loose. So once the tires got warmed up and stuff, you had to be careful in the corners. And you probably saw that on the broadcast. There's a few people who had gotten loose. So that was not normally what I've remember at this track. So it was entertaining to say the least.
Yeah, entertaining for us. Maybe not so much for you guys in the car, but yeah, it definitely looked like it was dancing around a little bit as well. I mean, my kids have elementary school sweetheart dance tomorrow, so maybe you're getting ready for the dancing here tonight. But it was good to get to dance around to victory lane either way. And I want to say congratulations again. Enjoy the week off next week, and then we'll hopefully see you out there in the desert of Phoenix.
We'll be there. So yeah, we'll see you guys then.
All right, buddy. That is your winner tonight, Derek Paulson, in at the number 5, cracking the armor there for Ryan Kelly. I mean, he needed the armor cracked in front of him before that, as unfortunately a little mix up there between the 3, the 13, and the lap car. In the end, on the outside, it happens. Trying to stay out the way and trying to make a late move there. Got together, and again, almost a heck of a save there from the 13 to still almost get the win after all that. But Derek Paulson, Todd Paulson were able to sneak on by and get first and second, as Paulson just edges out by 0.02. Once again, off week next week, so we'll let you guys enjoy the time off for Thursday nights, but we'll be back in action for the rest of the week, starting with Sunday night, as we're back here for the 191 Motorsports, and they are going to be heading to, taking a look here, actually, yes, they're going to be heading to Homestead for their race number 17. And getting close to the end of their season as well. So tune into that one as we start off another week on Sunday. But for myself and Jimmy from the CRN booth here at EchoPark, we'll see you at the track.